Hey, what's up, family? I'm so happy to be here with you today to talk to you about this subject of tuning vocals, or for short, tuning Vox. And I want to get straight into it today because I actually want to sing something for you and then tune myself and show you different ways that you can tune your vocals and actually sound really, really great. Now, tuning vocals is absolutely necessary because we definitely live in a time where people are used to, for the most part, in general, listening to vocals that are tuned well. So even the untrained ear, even a person that you say, oh, not everybody's musical, they're not going to notice. Even those people can tell when a vocal is out of tune. So whether it's for your Sunday morning, services, and you guys, repost them online and you mix them. A lot of people do that. We do that. Whether it's your covers that you're sharing, or you're a professional, you're an artist, and you're putting out music like myself, and you want your music to really, really stand out and be beautiful vocally. Either way, these are things that you have to know. So let's start. So the first thing I want to say is this, that when it comes to knowing exactly what to do in a world of lots of different, there's different plugins, different programs to tune your vocals. The truth is, you can get straight to the point of what you need in your music by asking the right questions. The first one here is, does the end result require precision or improvement? You have to ask yourself that question. So what I'm looking for at the end, you got to think about, the end product. Does it require for it to be precise? Like, this is going on a record, for example, or, this is going to be pitched as my demo, and I want, this song to really, really find its place, in the heart of someone that really knows music. Something that really, really requires, like, for everything to be completely precise and just awesome. Or does it just require improvement? Hey, listen, this Sunday recording that we did, at church, the vocal was great, but it just needs a little bit of improvement, for us to just be able to repost it and share the music, or something like that. Maybe it doesn't require this artist level of improvement. Or, for example, in my case, where sometimes I won't show an entire performance. Say if a song is 4 minutes to 5 minutes long, I'm only going to show the 30 seconds that I want to use for my reel. I might cut up different parts of an entire performance and only put up 30 seconds of it, right? So in that case, you don't really need maybe precision, you just need improvement. And this is important because this will help you to decide what are you going to choose, what kind of programs, and we're about to get to that. Okay, the second thing is, what kind of pitch correction do you prefer? Do you prefer natural pitch correction, where basically you cannot tell that pitch correction has been used, only that, that person sings awfully on pitch. Wow, what great pitch. And some people do sing awfully on pitch, and you can't tell because it sounds very natural. To me, in my opinion, that is a great goal to have as far as personally. Now, that's only one man's opinion. The truth is, other people like a more, for lack of better words, a more like robotic, T-Pain, right? Made it popular. He would use auto-tune, and he did it all the way on, and I'm going to show you the settings right now. He did the auto-tune all the way on, and I'm going to show you how that works right now, where it sounded like almost like like those keyboards where you put the little thing in your mouth and you can kind of make, what is it called again? Something box, talk box. Thank you. I had to think about it for a second there. Talk box, it sounds like a talk box. It sounds like almost like a synthesizer. Like, oh, that's cool. And a lot of times in modern music, they use a lot of very heavy auto-tune, and that's more of it's an effect. It's a desired effect. People want that. There's even this guy who's a comedian right now. His whole show is him having the T-Pain auto-tune effect and him singing, and I wouldn't recommend listening to it because he says crazy stuff. You can imagine it's a comedian, right? But in some cases, it is appropriate to use very strong tuning, inside the music. So here's the third question. It's kind of bringing us to where we're going. What programs do I personally prefer? And there's a lot of programs, but for me, I'm going to talk to you about 2 programs that I prefer. Actually, I might pull up a couple other ones, but for me, I like Auto-Tune and I like Melodyne. Now, for me, Auto-Tune, the way I use it is more for like, I'm doing something quick, I'm making a reel, kind of like our question at first. It's not precision, it's more for improvement. So I'm going to use Auto-Tune, and I'm going to show you exactly how these work. We're going to go to Pro Tools right now in just a second. But also, there are other times where it's like, no, I really need something to sound natural, right? So when I want something to sound natural and I want to be detailed about every single note and I want to be more precise and natural, then I go to Melodyne. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's kind of just summarize that, okay? So if I want precision and I want natural, I go to Melodyne. If I want improvement, quick, you know what I mean? Quick improvement, and I don't mind either like a cool effect, like a T-Pain effect, or I'm just going to go light on it, but it's going to be kind of quick, I'll go to Auto-Tune. Auto-Tune does do natural as well, and it does do very quick, but it's not always precision, especially when it comes to you doing, say, notes that are outside of the major scale. So, for example, say if I were to say like, whatever, let's do a Christmas song. Hang a shining star above the high. You know, once you start getting outside that major scale, if you were to set your Auto-Tune to what I think is a good setting for like something really quick, which is a major scale setting, it won't catch it. It'll ruin the note. And then sometimes if you set it to chromatic, the effect is not that smooth on Auto-Tune, on the one that I'm using, and I'll show you right now. It's that quick one, and it's a cheap one. And it's the one I like to talk about because a lot of you are new artists, or you're not going to invest in the big Antares thing, or, you know, sign your life away to get all of their plugins. You might just want to do what I did, which was buy the, you know, the Auto-Tune plugin. You know, it was like $50, you know, or something like that, you know. You might not want to invest in Melodyne. Melodyne is, I wish I should have looked it up before I started, but Melodyne is hundreds of dollars as well. So that's why I'm saying this is how you get to know what is for you, you know. So now I want to show you my top 2 settings. We're going to go into Pro Tools in just a second. And then at the end, we'll talk about when do you outsource vocal tuning? When is this too much for me and I need to send it to somebody else, right? So what I want to do now is I want to go to Pro Tools and I want to talk to you about my top 2 settings when it comes to both modern and natural, okay? And we're going to, of course, talk about Auto-Tune and Melodyne. So let's go over to, not that, but over to Pro Tools. Let me open up my Pro Tools. And I have opened up a session. Many of you guys know this session, or excuse me, this song from Elevation. I'm going to close down some of these things that we won't be using. And it's this song, Been So Good to Me, right? It's by Tiffany Hudson. I'll sing it for you because I might do weird things. I might, to illustrate this, I might do some different stuff. So I'll do like the chorus portion, and then I'll show you how I use my settings, okay? Whoops, I missed the cue. One more time. You have been so good to me. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. So good to me. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. So good to me. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. So good to me. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. Oh, 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 da, da. Oh, 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 and I just wanna thank you, Lord. Oh, 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 and I just wanna thank you, Lord. All right, so we'll use that, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to my mix window, and I'm going to add some of these plugins because I already want to hear them on my voice. Take this off of Recordable. Little reverb to make it sound nice. Maybe not. Oh, won't let me? Okay. I wonder why the reverb won't let me. Well, I'll put my own reverb on it. Okay, I'm going to go to reverb, and I'm going to go down to... By the way, Valhalla is a really great reverb. I know we're not talking reverb today, but I do love the Vintage Verb by Valhalla. No problem. It's going to change this. And then we're going to go over to Aaron's Bright Vocal Reverb. And I'm going to probably lower this mix since I'm not using it in an aux. And we won't talk about that now. Of course, there's a bunch of videos. You can go to minstrelstv.com and we talk about all these things. We talk about how to produce yourself like a pro. And then, of course, all this Music Maker stuff has been really fun. Music Makers has been geared more towards just getting in there and improving yourself as an artist and getting your music out there. Okay. And then now we have the auto tune that I'm going to put right there as well. Okay. So this auto tune is called Auto Tune EFX3. This is an older one, I will admit. This is the one that I bought, still works, and I love it and I use it. Okay. So let me show you. Well, you heard how I sung it without, pitch correction. Now, thank God I'm not the most perfectly pitched singer, but it wasn't completely terrible. Maybe I should have been a little worse, but there was some bad stuff in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my favorite settings for this, okay? And after I show you my favorite setting for the natural, I'm going to show you more of like the R&B type of thing, okay? So my favorite setting for natural is to find the key of the song, which I believe is this an F? F sharp, okay? So this is in the key of F sharp. So what I would do is I would find this, and it's actually already set to G flat here, and I would use the major setting, okay? Not minor. Let me show you what happens if you use minor, okay? Sorry. So good to me, God, I can't believe. You hear that? How you love me. What a friend you are. And it's trying to make it go minor. G flat minor, that's not correct. Now, if I put it on major, my favorite setting is to set it at around 176, 180 for my retune speed. It's a slower speed, and this is what you would call more natural. And then, of course, the tracking speed, I set it to normal. So normal. And you can change this to be a soprano, alto, bass, instrument. Of course, for me, I'm more alto tenor, right? So that's the voice type. The key, of course, I said it's G flat, like I said. And the scale we're going to choose is not chromatic, definitely not minor, but major, because major has a smooth sound when you are using, and here's the big key, when you are using notes that fall within the major scale. In most songs like this, modern, CCM, you're going to have that. Where you won't have it, I'll illustrate it for you in just a bit, is if you were to say, you have been so good to me, I can't believe. Most people are not going to do that, but you'll have situations. I mix in situations, say like a gospel or a jazz, where they'll do notes like that. They'll do those semitones, and you're like, oh, wait a second, what was that? It ruined my auto-tune. Yes, it will. And so I'll show you the fix for that in a little bit, but for the most part, for these kind of songs, something modern, it's going to be the major, okay? And then down here, I don't use the hard effects. I use soft effects. And I usually leave it at true. I don't fool with that. And on the humanize, I just do a little bit, like 21. Because I don't want it to... I honestly want to hear more of the vocal that I actually did than all this plugin, okay? And I don't even fool with this sync to host. Like some people can do like, you can do a pattern tempo, with the vibrato. Basically, it's like like you do stuff. That's not my thing. Okay, I say that's a whole different talk about vibrato, and that's a singing thing. Okay, here we go. My favorite setting. So good to me, God, I can't believe how you put a little louder. Me. What a friend you have been. So good to me, God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. So good to me. So even when I do stuff, watch. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. So good to me. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. Oh, 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 oh. This is fixing my pitch, but it's sounding natural. Ooh, right there, I didn't catch it. It wasn't precise, okay? Which is important to talk about. But for the most part, it's effective, it's quick. And I just want to thank you, Lord. Okay, so that's my favorite setting. I'm going to screenshot it for us so I can put it there. Excuse me, everybody. That only rings if my wife's calling, and that's why I always check, even if I'm on a video. Okay, 1 second. All right, so I'm going to screenshot this for us because I want to use this to show you exactly what my setting is, and I will include this for my students in a PDF in this course. The course is, you're going to find it under Spring Sesh, and under Spring Sesh, because we're technically still at the end of the Spring Sesh, we are doing this thing that we call Music Makers, and under Music Makers, you'll see it right there. All like the, I think this is week 7, and you'll see it there, and you're going to see all the little things there. All these resources are made for you because we appreciate you for being a part of our Minstrel membership. And if you're not a part of it, you can go to minstrelstv.com today and be a part of it. Okay. Now let me show you my second favorite setting, and it's going to look like I'm not changing much, but it's going to make a huge difference in the vocal. You'll see. Now this is more of like a modern, I'm going to say pushing, and what I'm going to do is I'm changing the tracking to choosy, okay? I want it to be very choosy about staying in the major scale of G flat. I'm going to leave the voice the same, the key is going to be the same, the scale is going to be the same, but the retune speed, I'm going to go more this way to faster, which is more of an effect, as you're about to see. Everything else, I probably wouldn't change it, but just for fun, I'm going to go to hard FX. I'm going to take the humanize off. Okay, here we go. So good to me, God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. So good to me. You hear that? God, I can't believe. Sounds like Drake. How you love me. What a friend you have been. Of course I kid, right? So good to me. God, I can't believe. And no matter what I do, it's gonna be like all love me. Love me. What a friend you have been. So good to me. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. Oh, I might go more like this. To 8. And I just wanna thank you, Lord. Oh, didn't catch that because it was too sharp. My vocal was too sharp. That would need Melodyne. Okay, so I just want to make sure you understand. Thank you, Lord. All right, cool. All right. So you're able to kind of hear my setting. Let me copy and paste that setting. That's that's my mastering setting. I want to copy and paste this setting. This is more of a, affected. You know, you want that auto tune, that EFX sound, right? And that's good for that. You know, it's really, really great. Okay, so what I want to say is I want to show you that, you know, some people that are watching this might laugh and be like, oh my God, auto tune, T-Pain, whatever. Look, there's going to come a time where you're going to want to know a little bit about this sound. And I think no program, no plugin does this better than actual auto tune. I know there's some other good ones out there. They're really great, a lot of fun. But I just really feel like this is, if you want that original sound, this is that like bona fide auto tune effect sound. If you want that effect, right? Again, I showed you how you can do it and it sounds more natural and it was quick, right? Only thing is if you leave it on the mix bus right here, you know, like in other words, you have it on in real time, you know, you're not going to catch all the melodic minors, you know, some of those drop notes, you're not going to catch some of that stuff. Again, that might not even be what you're doing. So you might be completely fine with this plugin on that other setting that I did. On a natural setting, that's going to be perfect for your Sunday mornings. It's going to be perfect for your demos. That setting that I had is going to be like money to you. Like this is going to be worth the entire course. Just being able to mix properly and tune, especially. That's what we're focusing on today. Now, this might be something more like, oh, you're working on some like rap thing, or it might be, and it does sometimes call for this kind of thing. Now, the reason why I wanted to stop here and tell you that is because once we switch over to Melodyne, you're not going to really get, that's not what Melodyne is for. Melodyne is more of a precision, and it's like note for note. And as you're about to see, I'll show you how we could use Melodyne. So now I'm going to come out of this. All right. So those are my two favorite effects from Auto-Tune. All right. There are other ones. You know what? Let me just show you really quickly. Just for the sake of those that are doing it, and you say, man, I don't have a lot of money. If you go and you get the Slate bundle, the Slate Everything bundle, from, I believe it's Slate Digital. Yeah. Slate Digital has one called Metatune that is very similar to that. And it is included in their bundle for only $15.99 a month. I'm not sure if it's $15.99 anymore. It might be $20 a month. But it's a very good bundle, and I would definitely recommend it. Now this, I haven't spent a lot of time with this, but this is also very similar. So let me see if we wanted to do... this one probably should have some settings. Okay, this one says natural tuning. That's cool. So let's see. Light tuning. Let's see how this sounds. And so good to me. I hear it. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend. Man, works great. You have been so good to me. God, I can't believe how you love me. This is great. I love it. What a friend. That what was a little off. So good to me. Okay, now that we have hip hop. Let's try hip hop. You love me. What a friend you have been. So good to me. God, I can't believe. See how it's really how you love me. What a friend you have been. So it doesn't do that as well as auto-tune, you know what I mean? But it's still cool, and it's included in that other bundle. So you might want to go jump and grab that. Okay, so now what do you do when you want to be more precise? All right, so let's talk about that. Command plus is going to take me to my mix window. There's my vocal, okay? All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go control. Wait, is it option? Click. Oh, no, I forgot. Sorry. I'm using a different mouse today. So you just right click and you go to, if you have Melodyne and you own Melodyne, again, Melodyne is not cheap. You can go look it up. I think it's $300 or $400. Not cheap, but it is worth it if you're doing a lot of mixing, you know, on a regular basis. And, you know, you want it to be precise. You want it to be very professional. You want it, you know, to be all the things. You know what I mean? And you don't want it to come off as an effect. You want it to be natural. That is what Melodyne is all about. Melodyne is amazing for recreating that. So here goes. You notice all my little notes are represented on all this stuff. Watch. Wait, can I just go like this? 1 second, everybody. Okay, here, watch. You see it. And so good to me. That's my natural vocal that I recorded. God, I can't believe. See, that's a little pitchy. How you love me. What a friend you have. See how friend was kind of off? You didn't notice that, huh? That's how good that other Melodyne works. It's very natural. Excuse me. The auto-tune, EFX, works so good that you can't really notice it. So what would I do? Now what I would do, and I'm not a Melodyne expert, but I'm going to show you how to correct it, and I'm going to show you a couple things that are really fun. Okay? So what I do is I go to Edit, and I go to Select All. And that will select all my notes. And there's a couple things that you can do. It says macros. Okay, correct pitch. This allows you to just correct the pitch. All right? And the pitch center, you could already see these moving as I go to have it go like really close to pitch center. In other words, accurate, right? I want to go super close to accurate. And then as far as pitch drift is interesting because like whenever my pitch is drifting, you know, how much am I going to allow of that, right? And so I want to allow like, you know, 20%, all right? And I'll go to OK. And it's going to correct, you know, my vocal. Now, this is actually correct in that it's detected it as E flat minor because E flat minor is the cousin of G flat major. So this is really, really important because you get to see, you know, that this is actually really good at detecting. I haven't even put any information in and it's going to detect it. Okay, so let's listen now to see how it's corrected my pitch and if it's natural. And so good to me. God, I can't believe how you love me. What a friend you have been. Friend was off before. So good to me. God, I can't believe how you love. Okay, believe still sounds off. So I love this because it allows me to go in there and so good to watch, look at believe, watch. God, I can't believe. It's the drift, and I did that with my voice, so it's not like Melodyne's messing it up. Whoops, sorry. Let me not select everything. Let's select just this one moment. See that? It allows me to change. Let's see if that sounds any better now. So good to me. God, I can't believe. Oh, now it's a little sharp. So I think I'm going to trust Melodyne that my pitch was that bad. So good to me. God, I can't believe how you It's fair, it's fair. What? Because see, that was on my vibrato, so I was going, you can, like vibrato varies the pitch. So sometimes it's going to, vibrato could be a tricky situation in tuning, but there is a way to do it. And now, this is going to answer my question. This last question says, at what point should you outsource vocal tuning? As you can see, I'm doing a pretty good job. Okay? If this was maybe I'm going to do a reel and I'm not going to go through every little thing like I am right now, we're going to be fine. But I am not a Melodyne expert. You can literally recreate, you guys, with Melodyne. Go watch some Melodyne videos. You could like recreate. I could use like MIDI to be like, God, I can, you know, and be like, like I could do that on the keyboard and then make my vocal do that with Melodyne. Like it goes really deep. Now, here's the point at which I would outsource. Whenever me arriving, okay, in other words, whenever me getting this to the right place with Melodyne, whenever this is out of my scope, in other words, it's beyond what I'm able to do, I outsource. And I do have a guy that I use that I love to send my stuff to. Good friend of mine, Mark Allen, Schoolmeisters. Mark is from Nashville. And whenever I send my stuff to Mark, he's reasonably priced. And it's like, it's either I'm going to be here for 2 days and waste hundreds and hundreds of dollars of my time, you know, when I could be working and earning a living for my family, or I send it to Mark. Mark gives me a good price. And because he's so good at the program, it comes back perfectly pitched, perfectly natural. And because Mark's also a producer, which a lot of these guys that are really great are, he's also like, hey, bro, some of that stuff was a little off time. If you don't mind, I fixed it. I'm like, I don't mind. And so that's when you outsource. You outsource your vocal tuning when it's beyond your ability. Get someone that's better than you at it. And usually these people have a good track record. Now, I might be better than you at this. So maybe you should pay me to outsource. You know, I'm the outsource guy. You pay me to say, man, I can't even do it as good as you just did it right now. Cool. Maybe I'm the guy. I'm what you need. But when you're me, I'm like thinking, okay, well, I'm this good at it now, but I need somebody that's this good at it. Okay, then I send it out. I outsource it, and that's when you do it. And I'm telling you, that is fair. There's no Pro Tools, Logic, Fruity Loops. I don't know all the DAWs. There's no DAW Bible that says you have to do it this way. No, you got to do what works for you. And what works for me is to decide, again, looking at our will, okay, does this require precision or just improvement? If the answer is improvement, I'm thinking already auto-tune, EFX. The next question, what kind of pitch correction do you want? Natural or T-Pain? I'm thinking natural, okay. Ooh, that could be auto-tune or Melodyne, because auto-tune, as I showed you, can have a natural setting, but Melodyne is almost like nothing ever touched it. Okay, so what programs am I going to prefer? Well, knowing, say this song, for example. Let's say I was doing this song as my cover. Well, I don't want this to sound like T-Pain. I need this to sound like precision, and I need it to sound like natural. Automatically, those two answers fit Melodyne. This is going to have to be a Melodyne thing. And I bought Melodyne so I can do this, and as you can see, it did a great job already. Without me even being a guru of Melodyne. 2 clicks. We're done. My thing is pitched correct, and for the most part, it's great. If I need more, like I was right now, I feel like, I need that to be perfected. Then I would send it to Mark, Alan Schoolmeisters, and then we would be gravy. And he would send it back, and y'all would be like, man, Aaron is just a monster vocalist. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from these things that I'm teaching you. If you love this and you want to be a part of this, because I'm not going to keep this on YouTube, this is for our subscribers. I do a lot of free stuff, and this is free right now. You can watch this and you're learning from it, and you're probably already able to make a decision on a purchase. I'm saving you hundreds of dollars depending on what you're about to do. A lot of people are only going to need auto-tune. They're only going to need to spend a little bit of money to get pitch correction today, by Sunday, so as to not ruin people's lives by putting their vocal out there all bitchy. Most people today, let me stop and say this before I quit and say goodbye. Most people are pitchy. If you're talking about that you're tuning for a service, like because you're going to take down, usually what churches do, like Elevation, after the service is live, it's not available anymore. They take it down. They go and edit Pastor Stephen Furtick's message, and then they put it out. They do small, micro content from it, then they'll do the full version of it. Of course, editing out anything he doesn't want. They'll also give you the best version of his sermon from the 3 sermons that he preached in that day. You know what I mean? So, there's a lot of that going on. But then the audio, they won't even make available. I think they used to make some of it available. I know Bethel still makes Sunday audio available, I think. But they're going to take it down. They're going to get the multi-tracked audio. They're going to mix it and give it back to you. A lot of people are doing that because it's a great representation of your church. It's a great representation. It's a great, production. And there's nothing wrong with producing something like that, especially if you want to present it in a spirit of excellence. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Now, let me say this. Some of you have in your mind right now, well, shouldn't they just sing on pitch? Yes, they should. You should go get a vocal coach and sing on pitch. As you can see how much extra time this is taking me from how pitchy I was on what I sang. I'm not even the worst singer I've ever heard. I've heard worse singers than me as I've mixed them and tried to, I hear their stuff and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long night. And yes, I present their vocal back to the public in a way that is beautiful and is gives them dignity. You know what I mean? And you say, oh, see, look it. It's not always a sinister plot. Sometimes, for example, I'll give you an example. People need pitch correction because there's a live recording. Okay? They've invited people, they've flew in people, they've made investments, they've, rented a space or whatever. I've been in a lot of situations like that, where they do recordings that cost a lot of money. And when you do that, you're in a time constraint. Conventions, concerts, you're in a time constraint. You're not going to be able to stop. In fact, a lot of people don't like to stop the flow of the recording because they want it to feel natural. So what do? They're going to do either overdub or they'll do what I'm talking to you about today, which is tuning the Vox. You go and you tune the Vox, you tune all the vocals up, and you go back and do that. And of course, this is where this is very valuable. And I would say, now that we're talking about this, this could be a very valuable skill to learn. You could even just be a vocal tuner and have a very nice competitive price once you get really good at this and making it sound natural and knowing all the different ways, Like I said, you could do a cool, affected version, and you can also show your natural versions of what you do. And this especially is important when you start doing vocalists that do a lot of singing. Once you get to like gospel, once you get to jazz, you're going to need to know your stuff. This is easy. These melodic lines, this beautiful songs is good for singing, but it's easy. The melodic line, it's linear, no weird stuff. It's so peaceful and beautiful. But you're going to get to some singing that you got to be really, really good at doing. And so anyways, this could be really great for you. And if nothing else, if you're that mixer or you're that person or you're like me, you're an independent artist. I don't have the money to always get somebody to do this for me. So that's why I bought these programs and I'm doing this myself. And so this is for you that you're saying, hey, that's where I'm at. This is exactly where I'm at. I need to learn how to do this and buy my own programs. And I'm putting out music all the time and I want it to go higher to the next level. Let me tell you right now, if you're putting out music and you're not using pitch correction, I'm telling you, you definitely need to start at least considering it. Unless your natural pitch and singing is tremendous. All right, family. Much love to you all. We'll see you next time again. If you want this, sign up at minstrelstv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Minstrel membership because the Minstrel membership gets all of the courses. You get the piano, the bass, guitar, drums. You don't need any experience necessary. You can just start from zero, and I will teach you all the way to advanced levels. And I'm telling you, we do this all the time. We've done it for the past 20 years, and I'm happy to offer this to you for only $29. Go to minstrelstv.com. $29 per month. Let me say that, okay? Qualify that because I'm $29. I'm gonna get all that for all time. No. We stay open. We're staying here with you. We stay connected to you. The community is connected to you. Like this is ongoing, and of course, what a small price. I used to pay $50 per lesson. There's at least the equivalent of one lesson per week that you can go through for 2-3 years in our courses at only $29 per month. Hundreds of lessons for you, including this one and stuff that we do on a weekly basis to better you, not just in your instrument, but also in your music ministry like this as it grows. All right, family. See you later. God bless. Talk to you next time.